Every journey has moments of doubt, of darkness, of desperation. There are times when the weight of everything you've carried feels unbearable, and the thought of quitting whispers louder than the fire that once pushed you forward. But in those very moments when giving up feels like the only relief, you must remember how far you've come. This isn't just about ambition or goals. This is about survival. This is about rising through pain, about standing when everything in your world told you to stay down. It's about honoring the process, the sacrifices, and the invisible miles your soul has traveled. Asterisk, you faced storms that others couldn't even imagine. You fought battles that left scars not visible to the world but deeply etched within you, and still you moved. Still you climbed. Still you chose progress. And that choice alone, in the middle of fear and fatigue, is proof that something unbreakable exists within you. The long nights, the early mornings, the moments you cried behind closed doors but still showed up in the daylight, those were victories. Too, you might not have celebrated them. You might not even remember some of them. But they built you. Asterisk, this journey isn't just about where you're going. It's about everything you've overcome to get here. Every door that closed, every friend that left, every failure that made you question your worth, it all brought you closer to the person you're becoming. None of it was wasted, even when it hurt, especially when it hurt. Pain has a way of shaping strength like nothing else can. Pain is not a sign you're weak. Pain is a signal that you're alive, that you're growing, that you're in pursuit of something meaningful. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But you've chosen the path less traveled, the road with resistance, the road where champions are made. Asterisk, people see the present version of you and don't always understand the history behind your strength. They don't know what it took just to stand today. They don't know how many nights you questioned your purpose. They don't see the parts of your story that almost broke you, but you do. You were there, you remember, and that memory isn't meant to break you again. It's meant to remind you that you are no stranger to the fight. You are no stranger to overcoming. And the very fact that you're still here, breathing, believing, and striving, means you've already beaten the odds. Asterisk, you didn't come this far to quit. You didn't endure all that heartbreak, all that loss, all that struggle just to stop when the finish line is closer than it's ever been. You have to keep moving. Not because the path is easy, but because the cost of turning back is greater than the pain of pressing forward. Quitting might seem like it offers relief, but it also steals everything you've worked for. Every step you've taken, every breakthrough you've earned, every lesson you've learned, it all disappears the moment you give up. Asterisk, but if you choose to keep going, even when your body aches and your heart feels heavy, then you honor everything that's gotten you here. You make the pain meaningful. You make the sacrifices count. You give your past self a reason to be proud and your future self something to stand on. There's power in resilience. There's power in showing up even when the world gives you a reason not to. That power doesn't come from motivation or emotion. It comes from commitment. A decision made deep inside that says, no matter what happens, I will not stop here. Asterisk, you've come too far for it to end in doubt. You've seen too much to pretend that you weren't built for this. The version of you that started this journey couldn't have survived what you've survived. That version would have quit. But you didn't. You grew. You became someone stronger. You've evolved in the fire. And if the fire hasn't consumed you by now, it never will. That fire is your ally now. It has forged your will. You know how to stand in the middle of adversity and not bow to it. That kind of strength is rare. That kind of spirit is unstoppable. Asterisk. So when the temptation to quit comes knocking again, and it will remember the miles you've already traveled. Remember the mountain you've already climbed. Remember the tears you've already wiped away. You paid a price to be here. Don't waste it. Don't trade everything you've invested for the comfort of now. The pain of discipline, of perseverance, of endurance, it's temporary. But the reward that comes from finishing what you started will outlive every moment of hardship. Asterisk, the voices in your head may try to tell you that you're not enough, that you failed too many times, that it's too late. But those voices don't know your story. They don't know what it took to rebuild yourself again and again. They don't know how many times you rose when staying down would have been easier. And they'll never understand the vision that fuels your soul. That vision still lives in you for a reason. It hasn't let you go because you were meant to see it through. Asterisk, you're not chasing a dream, you're fulfilling a destiny. And destiny doesn't respond to doubt, it responds to grit. It responds to faith in the face of fear. It responds to the decision to rise, even when it's raining, even when it's dark, even when no one is cheering you on. That's where real success is born, in the silence, in the struggle, in the sweat no one sees. You've lived in that place. You've built yourself there. And that means no matter what comes next, you've already proven you have what it takes. Asterisk. Pain is often misunderstood. Most people see it as punishment, a sign that something is wrong, a reason to retreat. But pain is not a prison, it's a pathway. It's a signal that something within you is shifting, stretching, evolving. The fact that you feel pain doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're alive, that your journey still has chapters unwritten, that there's more ahead than behind. Pain doesn't come to destroy, it comes to define. Asterisk, think back to the hardest moment you've ever endured. The moment when you were ready to throw in the towel. The moment when everything in you screamed to quit, to stop, to run the other way. And yet you didn't, you endured, you pressed on. You may have cried, you may have bent, but you did not break. That moment wasn't the end, it was the beginning of transformation. Growth is painful, progress is painful, but regret is far worse. And what hurts now will bless you later if you don't let it make you bitter. Asterisk, pain is a teacher. It's one of the most honest teachers you'll ever have. It doesn't sugarcoat. It doesn't coddle, it gets your attention. It forces you to reevaluate what really matters. It reveals the parts of you that need strengthening. It pushes you to dig deeper, to ask yourself who you really are and what you truly want. And in that moment, when your back is against the wall, when your heart is heavy, when your faith feels like it's on fumes, you either rise or retreat. You either fight or fold. And the fact that you're still standing proves what choice you made. Asterisk, people don't talk enough about the internal war. The fight behind closed doors, the battles fought in silence. The struggle to believe when nothing in your reality reflects the vision in your heart. But that's where real strength is. Born, not in applause, not in comfort, not in recognition, but in the quiet. In the lonely moments when you decide to keep going with no guarantee, no promise, and no clear path, just faith. That is power. Asterisk, you didn't endure that heartbreak, that loss, that betrayal just to stop now. You didn't push through years of uncertainty, nights of anxiety, and days where you felt invisible just to settle. You've come too far to give up now. Too far to look back. Too far to let go of everything you've been building, becoming, and breaking through. Pain shaped you. It refined you. It stripped away what was false so the real you could emerge. The version of you that refuses to be defined by the past. The version of you that understands what once hurt you now fuels you. Asterisk, there are people who gave up when it got hard, who tapped out when the storm hit, who settled for comfort over calling. But you didn't. You stayed in the fight. You kept waking up. You kept moving forward. You kept holding the vision in your heart even when the world gave you every reason to doubt it. That kind of resilience is rare. That kind of courage is built, not born. It means you've been tested. And the fire didn't consume you, it refined you. Asterisk, when pain shows up, you have two choices. You can run from it or you can run through it. You can avoid it or you can allow it to forge you into someone stronger. Those who avoid pain stay the same. They live in fear, shrinking back from every challenge, never stepping into the fullness of who they were meant to be. But those who lean into, who face it, feel it, and still move forward, those are the ones who discover what they're made of. And if you're reading this now, it's because you've chosen to be that person. You've chosen not to be defined by circumstances, but by conviction. Asterisk. You're not the same person you were when this journey started. You're wiser now. You're stronger now. You've seen what you're capable of when your back is against the wall. You've learned how to show up for yourself when no one else does. You've proven that your dreams are worth the pain it takes to grow into them. You've shown that there's purpose even in your lowest moments. That the tears, the struggles, the nights you thought would never, and they were never wasted. Asterisk, you didn't go through hell to quit in the hallway. You didn't crawl through the dark to give up when the light is just around the corner. Everything you've walked through has been preparing you for this season, for this moment. Not a single ounce of your pain was pointless. Not a single hardship was without reason. It all contributed to the person you're becoming, the one who understands that giving up is no longer an option. You've already paid too high a price to walk away now, asterisk. So when the pain returns, and it will, don't see it as a stop sign. See it as confirmation that you're still on the path, that you're still growing, that the mission is still alive inside of you. Let it remind you how far you've come. Let it push you, not paralyze you. Let it fuel your fire, not extinguish it. Pain is only permanent if you let it be. But if you shift your perspective, you'll see it for what it truly is, a tool, a trainer, a guide. Asterisk, every scar tells a story, not of defeat but of survival. Every bruise reminds you that you got back up. Every tear that fell was water for the seed of greatness planted deep within you. Don't curse the pain. Learn from it. Grow through it. Use it. Because if you're still breathing, still dreaming, still daring to believe, then there's still a reason. You've come too far to turn back. The only way is forward. And forward is where your purpose, your power, and your promise live. Asterisk. You didn't come this far by mistake. Every scar you carry, every bruise on your spirit, every moment where the weight felt too much but you still chose to rise, it all built something inside of you that most people will never understand. There's a reason why your journey hasn't been easy. It's because you were never called to live a life of comfort. You were called to rise, to lead, to overcome, to show others that it's possible to survive what should have broken you. The road behind you is proof that you've already conquered battles you thought would defeat you. You've already made it through nights when your own mind was your worst enemy. You've stood in the middle of storms that looked like they'd never pass. And you found the courage to breathe, to believe, and to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Asterisk, there are some moments in life where you look back and realize you've walked through fire. And not only did you survive it, but you came out with wisdom, strength, and a deeper sense of who you are. That's not just resilience. That's transformation. The version of you that exists today is the result of every tear you cried in silence, every doubt you wrestled with, and every time you fell and still found a reason to stand again. You've built a foundation brick by brick out of moments that others would have used as excuses to quit. But you didn't. You stayed the course even when it hurt, even when it was lonely, even when you had no clear sign that things were going to work out. Asterisk, that's the kind of strength that can't be taught in a classroom. It's the kind of strength that's forged in struggle when no one's watching, when there's no applause, no validation, just raw faith and sheer will. And it's in those hidden seasons where the world didn't see your fight that your character was molded. When you pushed through anyway, when you kept going despite the exhaustion, the fear, the anxiety, that's when something powerful awakened in you. Asterisk. It's easy to forget how far you've come when you're so focused on how far you have to go. It's easy to downplay your strength when all you see are the things that haven't happened yet. But pause for a moment and think about the version of yourself from years ago, the one who was still trying to find hope, the one who didn't know if they'd make it through, the one who prayed for days like this. You've become what that version of you needed. You've grown, evolved, and overcome in ways that person couldn't even imagine. You carry victories you don't even acknowledge because they've become part of your normal, but they matter. They are your receipts of resilience. They are your silent trophies, even if no one else sees them. Asterisk, you're still here. That matters. You didn't fold. You didn't run. You didn't give in to the pressure to settle for less than what you deserve. You stayed, even when it would have been easier to walk away. And the truth is, every step you've taken has been a declaration that your life has purpose. Every obstacle you've overcome is a reminder that something greater is still ahead. You wouldn't have come this far if there wasn't something waiting for you on the other side. The journey hasn't been easy, but it's been intentional. It's been shaping you, preparing you, molding you for what's to come, and now you're standing on the edge of something bigger, not just because of your dreams, but because of everything you've endured to protect them, the sacrifices you've made, the people you've lost. The moments when giving up seemed like the most logical option, but you didn't. You've got too much invested to turn back now. You've come too far to throw in the towel just because the road is still hard. This distance wasn't meant to be easy. It was meant to be worth it. Worth the pain, worth the struggle, worth the fight. Because what's waiting ahead isn't just a reward. It's a reflection of your growth. Sometimes you need to remind yourself of the war you've survived. You need to replay your victories in your mind and let them silence the doubts. You need to remember that you're not the same person who started this journey. You're stronger, wiser, more equipped. And even though the challenges haven't stopped, neither have you. You've proven, time and again, that when life pushes, you push back harder. You've proven that there's more in you than your circumstances. And no matter how much more there is to go, you already carry the evidence that you're capable of finishing strong. The world will try to convince you to play small, to quit before the blessing, to sit down when the burden feels too heavy. But everything you've already made it through is your testimony that you were made for more. You didn't just survive to stay stuck. You didn't fight this long just to break now. Every wound has taught you something. Every setback has refined you. Every delay has redirected you. And every moment you stayed when you could have walked away has added value to your journey that nothing else could replace. Your past isn't just something you escaped from. It's something you triumphed over. It's a testament that you can face hardship and still hold on to hope. That you can experience pain and still carry purpose. That you can fall and rise without losing your identity. And that kind of journey isn't just powerful, it's sacred. It means that the strength in you isn't borrowed, it's yours. Earned, fought for, built over time. And now that you've come this far, you owe it to yourself not to stop now. Not when you're this close. Not when you've already proven what's possible. Not when everything inside of you knows that you're not done yet.